guys, and that's, why does the water spill out? Right? And you're looking at me like I'm an idiot because I'm shaking the bottle, but the answer is that the water spills out because it's water that's inside. So the real question is, what's inside of you or your employees? And you may be thinking, wow, Beck, that's a super personal question. I met you like 15 seconds ago. But the truth is, it's not at all, because it's the same thing that's in all of us, because we've all been programmed with the same model, and that's for fear. Because it's fear and stress that allowed our ancestors to get out of some fairly precarious situations. The unfortunate bit is that our environment has changed pretty significantly since then, and we're still bringing these behaviors to our workplaces and our homes. So we have this ancestral mind in a modern environment, and that set up some problems, right? Like, so what is the #1 fear in America? Snakes. That makes zero sense, guys. Nobody's gotten bit by a snake walking from their Walmart parking lot, right? But for our ancestors, that made a lot of sense. They were in an environment where that was a real threat. So what should be the #1 fear in America? The new Krispy Kreme Double Down, right? But no, it's not. We die of heart disease, but we're not scared of this because we have this ancestral mind that says, yeah, sweets and fats, those are great things for us, because that's what helped our ancestors to survive. So what are our modern day snakes? What sets off our stress response in the modern world? Everything, right? Everything is setting off. Being up here right now, oh my gosh, I'm a professional speaker, setting off my stress response. And the problem is that our modern day minds are ancestral, and they have a really hard time interpreting a real threat, like a cougar attack, from your in-laws visiting, right? So you have all of these errors happening, leading to a state of chronic stress. And here's what we find. You're supposed to have a little stress in your life, but then you're supposed to come down from that stress. But what we see as scientists is that once your chronic stress goes up, it stays up. And that's a problem because it's led to all kinds of health and mental issues that we're seeing frequently these days. So this is where it gets really scary. So stress generates free radicals, which shorten your lifespan. It also halts the production of new brain cells and depletes the one you already have. Stress also depletes serotonin and dopamine. Those are your happy hormones. And it negatively impacts every cognitive function. Let me repeat that, every cognitive function. Okay, it allows more toxins into your brain, and ultimately it depresses your immune system, meaning that you get sick more frequently. So what do? You're feeling like crap all the time, so you grab snacks, sugars, drugs, whatever makes you feel good, right? And you get this little woo boost of dopamine, but then you crash even harder, and you're set up in this horrible cycle of chronic stress. Why are our employee wellness programs failing? Because we're not actually treating anything but symptoms, right? When the World Health Organization is calling chronic stress a global epidemic, and the American Psychological Association is linking it to all 6 of the leading causes of death, there's a problem. We have to do better in our workplace wellness. All right, so we see workers that are stressed incur health care costs that are 46% higher than those that are not stressed. And we're also seeing that stress costs companies an extraordinary amount of money. $702 per employee annually just on absenteeism alone. That's like, if you have 10 employees, 1 is always at home sick because of a stress-related illness, and 3 more are there, but functionally, they're completely non-productive, so they might as well not be there. All right, here's where it gets really stressful, because you guys know how much it costs to hire people that leave, well, like 100 to 300% of their salary, and yet 60% of workers say, I'd rather start over with a lower stress job. We're operating at this like crazy speed of things, but don't worry, I think there's a solution. All right, and I call this becoming instinctively cognitive. If we're set up to be instinctively reactive to everything, what happens if we take a step back and say, how can I process this better and move forward? And it starts with awareness. Now, awareness is tough, because we're living in a society that's normalized this chronic stress. And so often, I don't see awareness until I'm sitting there like mowing down on bread like this guy. And I'm going, oh, I'm stressed. But once you make some connection to that, you can move into a space of action. Take a breath. Take a walk. Maybe stop multitasking. Multitasking reduces your productivity by 40%. And it also reduces your IQ by 15 points. I can't afford that. Maybe you all can. Finally, you need to adapt. The brain is capable of being rewired, which is spectacular, but you have to put in the work to become instinctively cognitive. Humans have an amazing opportunity to do this and not let our chronic stress drive our health into the ground. So, I challenge you all to become your best biological self. I think we're built to not only survive, but to thrive. So hopefully next time when life shakes you and your employees, something better than fear spills out. Thanks, guys.